Yes, so today we're here with another live stream, and what we're going to be dealing with today in this live stream is the Muslim attack on the Old Testament, and we are going to show you how we can turn the table on them, because according to Islam, the Torah was given to Moses by Allah. So here we are. We're going to look at something that this Muslim say, and then we are going to show you how to deal with this situation when a Muslim come up with their ignorance, pointing out things in the especially in the books of Moses. We can show you how to deal with these abduls and their evil way and their small way of thinking. So here we go. We're going to show something here. If you look here, you see this guy, Abdul Latif. No, Abdullah. Sorry, is another guy called Abdul Latif. It's a bit noisy today because my wife and my son is home, so forgive me for the noise. Abdullah Yusuf, and he said punishment for stubborn children according to the Bible, right? Deuteronomy, and he quote Deuteronomy 21 to 20, verse 18 to 21. And then at the end, look what he says. If you have a stubborn child who doesn't obey you, would you carry out the brutality against him? Notice what he called it, a brutality. Sorry for my son making noise. So notice what he called it, a brutality. But look at, let's show you something. We're going to show you something from that Muhammad did, and just to show you what Muhammad said. So let's share. So we're going to go down and we are going to share screen. Okay, sorry. We're sharing screen and we're going to share. Okay, so what we're looking for, we're going to show you guys how to deal with these abduls when they come with this nonsense. So here we're going to read a verse from the Quran. So here it is. We're sharing right here. It says, surely we have sent down the Torah. So who sent down the Torah? According to Islam, Allah sent down the Torah. So the same Torah can be used against these abdul. They will say, oh, the Torah being corrupt. Prove to us that this verse or any verse, prove to us, just point out which verse is being corrupt. They cannot do that. They cannot point out which verse is being corrupt, because all they're doing is using conjectures to distract. You know, the Quran is corrupt. Point to us what verse of the Quran is corrupt. And just to show you something, we're just going to go somewhere and we're going to show you something. So let's get back to, so you see where the verse says, the verse, let's put it so that you guys could see it. So it says, surely we have sent down the Torah. So it is confirming that, Allah is the one sent the Torah. We know that Allah did not send the Torah because Allah is a made up God, but according to Islam, Allah sent the Torah. So we're going to get out of this and I'm show you something else. So let's stop the share and then we're going to share again. So we share. And this is something I wrote some time ago. And I just want to, because when you're dealing with them, you have to keep what you write. Okay. So right here, we have two verses. If you look at it, let's go and make sure that I make it big for you guys to see. So right here, I wrote this, and right here, we have two verses right here of the Quran that I use is Quran 3 verse 3 and Quran 5 verse 44. Both of them say that Allah gave the Quran, gave the Torah. So the verses are saying that Allah gave the Torah. And Muhammad also once took the Torah and he placed it on a cushion he was sitting on. He then talked to the Torah. So Muhammad talked to this Torah, the same Torah that these guys are trying to use against Christian. Muhammad talked to the Torah saying, I believe in you. And this we found in Sunan Abu Dawud 44, 49. And we also find that in Sunan Abu Dawud 44, 31. So we can see there that Muhammad confirmed that his God gave the Torah. So when these Muslims try to use the Torah against you, this is a way that you can get back at them. Say, okay, the Torah is also, Muhammad confirmed that his God gave the Torah. So what is your problem? You know, that's simple. That's just the way you stop it. You know, they say the Torah is corrupt. Prove to me that this verse is corrupt. They cannot. But let's look about killing children, killing disobedient children. We're gonna see what more the Torah, the Quran teach about disobedient children. So let's share screen again. And here we go. We're gonna share the screen, and here we go. Here we are. All right. So here we are. Let's make sure that it's big enough for you guys to see it. Okay. So what we have here, we go to Quran 18 or Surah 18. And when you look at it, we are at Surah 18. And we see when we read from Surah, like Surah 60, we're going to read from Surah 60 all the way down. We'll see where Muhammad told a story in the Quran where Moses met a guy called Kedar. Here is his name right here, Al-Kedar. And look what happened. There, as you read down, the guy got to a ship. This guy called Kedar got to a ship, and he split the ship. He did something and caused the ship to broke. And when Moses asked him, like, why did you do that? These people are gonna drown in the water. He told Moses, like, well, I told you, you will not understand what I'm paraphrasing. I told you will not understand what I'm doing. So finally, so Moses continued to follow this so-called Kedar that Muhammad made up. So when Moses was following this guy, you know, so here he is answering to Moses after he almost drowned these people into the water, or he drowned these people into the water. He said, this is Kedar said, did I not say that with me you will never be able to have patience? After he did what he did and Moses rebuked him. And here is the Quranic Moses, the weak Moses, answering, do not blame me for what I forgot, and do not cover me in your matter of difficulties. So here we go now. What happened here now? As we continue, and we got to verse 74. So they went out until they met a boy, and Kedar killed him. So here it is, Kedar killed the boy. Moses says, have you killed a pure soul other than having, it says, have you killed a pure soul for other than having killed a soul? You know, we get the drift, because what they try to do is cover up some of the stuff that is written in the Quran, because that's not perfect English. He said, have you killed a pure soul for other than having killed a soul? That means, have you killed this boy for no reason? You have certainly done a deplorable thing. So Moses of the Quran see this as a deplorable thing. But look what happened here. Let's exit the screen a little bit so we could scroll down, and I will show you what happened here. So let's, okay, right here would be cool. You know, so we go back, and I was full, make it full screen for you guys to see. So here it is. Kedar said, did I not tell you that with me you would never be able to have patience? So here it is. He killed a boy. Moses didn't see the reason for killing the boy, and he's telling Moses to have patience. And Moses says, if I should ask you about anything after this, then do not keep me as a companion. You have obtained from me an excuse. So Moses is giving him an excuse as saying, hey, if I ask you about anything else, you know, I don't keep me as your companion, but I want to know why you killed this boy. So as we go down, we'll see. So here we are, and we are going to see why this guy killed this little boy. So here we go. So they set out until when they came to the people of a town, they asked its people for food. But they refused to offer them hospitality, and they found therein a wall able to collapse. And so Kedar restored it. Moses says, if you wish, you could have taken for it a payment. Kedar said, this is parting between me and you. I will inform you of the interpretation of that which you could not have patience. So here it is. Kedar is going to tell why he killed the boy. So let's exit screen and go and see why Kedar killed this boy. So here we go. Here we go. We're going to see why Kedar killed this boy. So let's make it large for you to see. As for the ship, it belonged to poor people working at sea. So I intend to cause defect in it, as there was after them a king who seized every good ship by force. So here he is, his excuse for sinking the people's ship with the people on it. is that he did what he did because there is a king who and the ship belonged to poor people. The ship belonged to poor people, so he intended to cause defect in the ship so that he don't go to sea, so that the king will not steal the ship. So that's his excuse. And for the boy, his parents were believers, and we fear, listen this, and we fear that he would overburden them by transgression and disbelief. So here we are, killing a boy because who is this we? Who is this we? He is the one who killed the boy. Kedar killed the boy. So who is this we he talking about? Who is this we? So who was it that Moses was walking with that is speaking in plural about himself? He killed the boy. So who is this we? This we that he's talking about right here. Who is this we? He said, we fear that he would be overburdened, that we fear that he would overburden them by transgression and disbelief. So killing a boy because you believe he's going to be overbearing, not because he is overbearing, but because you believe that he's overbearing. Is that what the Torah told us to do? Is that what the Torah told Moses to do and the people of those days to do? No, that's not what the Torah told them to do. The Torah told them to kill disobedient children. Children who are disobedient, not children that you fear would be disobedient. Because where's the proof? If you go to the Torah says a matter is established by 2 or more witnesses. So you have to have witnesses in order to kill anyone. Like, okay, you're going to kill this child for disobedient. When there is no witness, there is nothing against him. Nothing against this boy that he was evil. You fear, this Kedar fear that he was going to be disobedient, so he killed him. He killed him because he feared that he was going to be disobedient. But what is the Torah saying? The Torah saying, kill those who are disobedient to their parents, who are hateful to their parents, kill them. That's what the Torah says. In the society that they were living in, that's what the Torah says. But in this society, you see that children were killed in the Quranic society, the Quranic society of Moses that the Quran give, the society of Moses that the Quran give. You find a man or a boy killing another boy for believing that in the future he would be disobedient and overburdened and to his parents. That's not what the Torah said. The Torah said to kill those who are disrespectful, are evil to their parent. Do you see the difference? So we, notice we again intended that their Lord should substitute for them one better than him in purity and nearer to mercy. So kill this boy, innocent boy, because he haven't committed any sin. So on the day of judgment, can this boy say, what was I killed for? And Allah will say, oh, I killed you because you were going to, it's a proof that I was going to be disobedient to my parents. Show me disobedient. Allah cannot show that. Allah cannot show that. Allah cannot show that. So Allah is no God. Allah is the imagination of Muhammad. So you look at it. This Muslim, let's get out and we show you how this Muslim is evil. This Muslim is evil. And let's show you how this Muslim that I am quoting I am refuting is an evil person. I will show you how he's an evil person. So let's get back to it. So here is Facebook. Do you notice what he says? He's attacking the Torah that says punishment for a stubborn child according to the Bible. If man have a stubborn and a rebellious, he didn't say stubborn alone, rebellious, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them. That don't care what they do to this boy will not hearken unto them. That's a different story from what we see in the Quran. That's a different story from what we see in the Quran. Let's go back to the Quran just to prove that point, that that's a different story from what we see in the Quran. It's not the same story as what we see in the Quran. Not at all. Not the same story. What we see in the Quran is a total different story. So, as I show you, it says, if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of the father, his father, or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them. Do you see? Do you see? Do you see what happened? They're going to bring him to the council. They're going to bring him to the council. They're going to bring him to this council after all that. But look what will happen. Look what happened to this poor child. Look what happened to this poor child. Look what happened to this poor child. And I will show you what happened to this poor child. So let's go to and share screen again. So we're going to share the screen just to show you the difference in Islam from the difference in the Quran. This is from Islam and the Quran from the difference what is written in the Torah, to show you that there is an evil force behind Islam, a very evil force. Okay, here it is. And for the boy, his parents were believers. Notice this, were. Why is it were? Why is it were? So let me share the screen so you guys could see what we are talking about here. Because we want to represent Islam in the way it should be represented. So what we see here, and for the boy, let me make sure that it is large enough for you guys to see. You see what he say? And for the boy, his parents were believers. Were. Why were? And we fear that he would overburden them by transgression and disbelief. So you kill this boy because you fear that his parents would he would overburden his parent. Not that he overburdened his parent. But what's the difference between the Torah? The Torah says the boy is disobedient and stubborn, and his parent chastised him and then take him to the council. Then take him to the council. Then take him to the council. I'm sure in front of the council, the boy have a say to say, no, I'm not disobedient to my parents. And then the parents would have to provide proof that he is disobedient to them. I'm sure, because what does the Torah say? A matter is established by 2 or more witnesses. 2 or more witnesses. So it's him against his parents. So where is his parents' witness? The parents need witness. Not the parents cannot be witness because they are the accuser. So they need witness of these boys. They don't just go and stone people like that. And they don't just go and kill people like that. But here it is in the Quran, this boy was killed for no reason at all. Because this Kedar, who we don't know in the Torah, the Torah don't mention anybody called Kedar. But Muhammad is always adding stories to what is written in the Torah and what is written in the gospel, because that's who he is. He was a liar. Always adding stories to what is written. Now, let's get back to what this guy asks. This guy asks a stupid question, so we are going to get back to his stupid question. So what we are going to do, we are going to share screen again and go back to his stupid question at the bottom of the of his post, and we are going to answer that, because the Bible give all answers. We don't have to answer anything ourselves. We just got to point it out. So here we are. Let's share screen again and see what this neophyte, because Muslims are as wicked as their Quran, are as wicked as their prophet. Not all Muslims, but these out here pointing out things that they don't understand. Their mind is evil and corrupt like Muhammad's mind. Now let's get to what this guy says is right here, and we are going to enlarge it so that you guys could see that I'm not telling a lie on this, Abdul. Okay, so what he say, if you have a stubborn child who doesn't obey you, would you carry out this brutality against him? Which is more brutal? Which is more brutal? Notice, that happened thousands of years before Muhammad in societies where it was very, very, very difficult societies. People were sacrificing their children to idols and all this kind of stuff. Children were dependent upon their parents, and the obedience of children was necessary for societies to prosper. But look at this. Look at what he says. If you have a stubborn child who doesn't obey you, would you carry out this brutality against him? If you were living in that society, of course you would carry out the what you call a brutality. But if you call it brutality, what about what Kedar did to that boy without the boy sinning? The boy commit no sin at all, no wrong against his parents, but he was killed because this man believed that he would. we fear. I fear your evil. Doesn't mean that I am evil. I fear you will misunderstand. Doesn't mean that I misunderstand. What does it mean? If you look at the word I fear, if you look at the phrase I fear, or we fear, what does it mean? It's like you are actually guessing in a sense. In a way. Let's see if we could find a phrase and see what that phrase means. So we find a phrase and see if we can see what it means. Okay, let's see. I fear. Okay, here it is. Use in speech when one is worried that something bad or unpleasant has happened or is true. So has happened, but that did not happen yet. I fear we have already too late, but you may not be late. You may not be late. So I fear that we are already too late. But what? You may not be late. These problems have no easy solution, I fear. But the problem can be solved. I fear they have no solution. Who knows? There may be a solution. But anyway, let's get back to what we really want to be going into. So remember, the Muslim asks us if we would kill our children. We are not living under under Moses' law. We are not. We are not living under Moses' law. So why would we be killing our children? So the first thing I want to show is this. Let's show you something. Let's share screen and we show you something. We are living under Jesus's law, not Moses' law, and we show you why. We're living under the law as defined by Jesus. So let's go right here. And we are going to make this screen big so you guys could see it. Okay, Luke 16, verse 16. The law and the prophets were proclaimed until John. So we see right here, the law and the prophet were proclaimed until John. Since that time, the good news, the gospel, this means gospel, of the kingdom of God is being preached and everyone is forcing their way into it. So what are we seeing here? The law and the prophet were until John. Now it's the good news of the gospel. We are living in the time of the good news of the gospel. We are not living in the time of the law and the prophets. Even though we could use them to trace things back to Jesus and trace things back to the gospel, we are not living in these times. So if we go here, let's get out here and go to Luke, and we'll see. So let's see. So we see that the law and the prophet were until John. That's what the Bible says. But not only that, let's share something else with you. Let's go and share something else with you. What did Jesus say? Let's share what Jesus says. Well, let's share what Jesus said about how to handle disobedient children. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna go, let's find. All right, here we go. So I want you guys to pay attention to this real good, like pay attention real good to this. And we'll show you how to handle these abduls. Okay, what did Jesus say right here? You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. So he said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Love your enemies, pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven. He causes his sun to rise on the evil and on the good. So if your children are evil, what you are going to do? What you're going to do? You're going to pray for your children. And you are going to love your children, because your children is your neighbor. You're living with them. They are your neighbors. Watch this again. And send rain on the righteous and on the unrighteous. So here is Jesus telling you that God send rain on the righteous and on the unrighteous. Your children is unrighteous, rain is sent upon them. And you who are righteous, rain is sent upon you. If you love those who love you, notice what Jesus said. If you love those who love you, what reward will you get? Are not even the tax collectors doing that? And if you greet only your own people, what are you doing more than others? So he says, if you love those only who love you, so you need to love those children who do not love you. We are living in under the law of the Messiah. So now that we show this, let's show you something. Remember what Jesus says right here. But I tell you, love your enemies. Make this part. Remember this part. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Love your enemies. Love your enemies. Love your enemies. Watch this. Watch this. Okay. Now we go here and we see something. Let's make it big screen so you can full screen so you guys could see. Okay. Hear what this says right here. A man's enemies will be the member of his household. A man's enemies will be the member of his household. He says a man's foes is the same as enemy. A man's foes. Look at this one. This person, this AMP highlighted this for you to see. A man's enemies will be the member of his own household. So what? If you say love your enemies, he's telling love your children who are disobedient to you. Simple. We are not living under Moses' law. Luke 16 verse 16, law and the prophet were until John. But since then, the gospel of the kingdom, the good news of the kingdom is preached. So we are in the good news of the kingdom. And according to the good news of the kingdom, this is what we are supposed to do. Love our enemies. So if your enemy is in your household, Matthew 5 verse 44 say love your enemies, and Matthew 10 verse 36 says a man's enemies will be the member of his own household. So if you're loving your enemies, you're loving the children who are disobedient to you. No call for killing. Pray for them who persecute you. That's what the book says. So you see, this is how you handle these stupid abduls when they believe they have something on you. We already show you from the beginning. Let's go back over a little bit and just kind of run through it real fast. So let's exit this screen. And we show you from the beginning that according to According to the Quran, the Torah, which this Muslim is citing, is given by Allah. So the same way the Torah can be used against Christianity, it can also be used against Islam. Islam will tell you that the Torah is corrupted, but can they prove that this verse right here that this Abdul is using is corrupted? So let's show you again what Muhammad say. Muhammad say, surely we have sent down the Torah. So he's telling us that his God, the we of his God, why a Unitarian God keep talking about himself in plurality, I don't know, but he's telling us that his God sent down the Torah. So we get out of that. So the Torah can also be used against the Muslim. If we are not going to get up and say, oh, look at your God do in the Torah. No, but anytime a Muslim points something in the Torah, Muhammad believe in the Torah. I'm going to show you again that Muhammad believe, claim to believe in the Torah, at least claim, because Muhammad was very, very evil and cannot be trusted. But anyway, let's go back and show you again what Muhammad did. I wrote this down and you guys could research it yourself. So we're going to go and find it. And this is how you answer to these abduls when they come in with their evil. So here we are. We are going to go and make sure that the screen is big so you guys can see it. Okay, I was answering to this idiot called Ijaz Ahmed, and so I wrote this up. Here we go. Muhammad boasted that his prophet gave the Torah. Quran 3 verse 3 and Quran 5 verse 44. We just read 44. What again Muhammad did? Muhammad once took the Torah, placed it on a cushion he was sitting on. He then talked to the Torah, saying, I believe in you. I believe in you. Sunan Abu Dawud 44:49, 44:31. See right here. So when these Abdul come to you and telling you about the Torah, use the Torah just the same way against them. Like, hey, your God claimed that he gave the Torah. So what is your problem? But not only that, the Muslim is talking about killing children for being disobedient against their parents. But look what happened in the Quran at the time of Moses, according to Muhammad. According to Muhammad. So we're going to go back there. We are going to go back there and see and show you what happened at the time of Muhammad, at the time of Moses, according to Muhammad. We don't believe in this nonsense, but Muslims believe in this nonsense. So here we go. Okay. Moses of the Quran was traveling with this man, our boy, young man called Khidr. And then this man suddenly killed a boy. And Moses said, why did you do that? You killed him for no reason. Paraphrasing. Here is the guy's explanation. And as for the boy, his parents were believers. I don't know where that come from, but were believers. And we feared that he would overburden them by transgression and disbelief. So they killed this boy because they feared that he would overburden his parents by transgression and disbelief. He did not commit any transgression. He did not disbelieve anything. They just kill him because we fear. Who is the we? I don't know. Do you see? Do you see what I'm talking about? In the Torah, it said to kill the child who is disobedient. But what the Torah also says is a matter is established by 2 or more witnesses. So you have to have witnesses to say, hey, my son is disobedient to me. So I'm taking you to so you could kill him. The law is going to require you to have witness. Where is your witness that this boy is disobedient to you? You have to provide some witness, and you cannot be witness for yourself. The reason you cannot be witness for yourself is that the matter, you are the plaintiff. You are the plaintiff. You are the plaintiff. The plaintiff must have witness. Matter is established by 2 or more witnesses. That's what the Torah says. Let me get out of it so I could show you where the Torah says that. So let me show you where the Torah says a matter is established. Here is the Torah, Torah 19, verse 15. And that is also repeated by Paul in the book of, I think it's the book of, I don't want to lie. So it's repeated. I know, I think it's Corinthians, but might be my memory is not the best. But look what is going on here. My son is making noise, so I'm going to finish up in a minute. So here we go. Let's share that so you guys could see. Let's share this so you could see, because we don't speak anything that we don't have proof for. So here we go. Deuteronomy 19, verse 15. And we're going to make that big so you guys can see it. Here it is. One witness is not enough to convict anyone accused of any crime or offense they may have committed. A matter must be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. So if you are the accuser, you are not a witness. You have to have people saying that, yes, I heard this boy being so bad to his parents. And guess what? If they are lying against you, they will pay for their lie on the day of judgment. But the Torah is nothing like the Quran. The Quran is a book of evil and wickedness. So here is a guy asking to be taken on. When I have a live stream, I don't take people on like that, because there's a reason. I would take you on a live stream if it's an open stream talking about anything. But if it's an open stream establishing something, I don't need the confusion. I need to establish and make my point. So if you follow me, subscribe to my channel, follow me, I take you on. Islam by Quran, I take you on and we discuss the Quran and discuss whatever issue you want to discuss. So we could plan this, and we could plan this, and if you want to have a discussion, we could have a discussion, because I love to have discussion with Muslims. I love to have discussion with you guys. Islam by Quran. So I don't know if he's a Muslim or what. He said, I am not wicked. Take me on, please. I don't know. But anyway, not to say, there's different levels of wickedness. To follow Muhammad is wickedness. But maybe you are ignorant of your wickedness. You're ignorant of your wickedness. And I pray to Jesus that you will see as we have this stream. Follow me, and I will teach. And I will bring you on when we could get together and we have a discussion. But this live stream is about answering this Muslim. So all praises to the God, the triune God, the God above gods, the Lord above lords. Thank God for his mercies He's worthy of all praises. He created the heaven and the earth. He is creator. He's everything. He's the life giver. All praises to the Father for sending his Son and for being my creator. All praises for the Son for being my creator and for coming to die for my sin. All praises to the Holy Spirit for being my creator and for coming to be with me so I could rightly divide the scriptures and look at things and be wise enough to point things out. So all praises to God Almighty. Amen. Amen. So my friend, Islam by Quran, I could come, we could arrange a discussion where we have topics that we discuss, or you choose whatever you want to discuss, and we deal with that. But when I have live stream answering issues of a Muslim, I don't like to have anyone on because I want to point out what I am. I want to keep to the script. If the script is written in this way, I don't want it to follow another way, because a lot of times Muslims come onto chats and they tend to Jesus says he's not God. Jesus, we're not talking about that. So right now we're gonna end this stream and we are gonna let my brother. I have a brother living in Nigeria who want to see how I respond to this, because a lot of times us as Christians, we don't know how to respond to the Muslim argument, but this is a good way to respond to this argument. Now let's end this broadcast. I gotta take my son and my wife somewhere. God is being good. So let's end this broadcast. Blessings to you all.